Hi, everyone. This is Megan.
And this is Steven.
And this is the Synchrony podcast where we talk about transforming apostolic dating culture and ending loneliness in the church. And we are in a very, very special place today.
Yes, we are. I feel like I should have a cup of coffee and be slurping while you're doing
that's
that
your
intro.
MO.
I know, but
we deprived you of coffee for this very important interview.
it's okay. I guess I'll settle this time.
Yeah. So we're not in our normal setting because we have gone all the way to Texas for a very important event. We are here for a wedding.
Whose wedding?
The wedding of Victoria and Jaken.
Yay!
We are in the church where you're about to get married.
Yeah.
People are setting up for your wedding.
You're getting married tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm so appreciative that you guys allowed us to do this on a very busy day. We're going to sit and talk about your story. You guys are a Synchrony couple that has been like just giving us hope and life throughout this whole process as we watched your relationship come together. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a walk down memory lane. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here. Are you guys feeling like comfortable, relaxed, ready to dive in?
Probably not. They probably felt how we felt the first time we recorded a podcast.
Well, and it's the day before their wedding.
And
Like
the day
that's the
before.
more
Yeah.
significant thing.
Yeah.
That's mine. Is I'm just kind of like, what's going on out there right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We're going to come out. It's going to be all perfectly set up. It's going to be great.
Yes,
Please.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Magical fairies are
The forest will have arrived
forest will
and
finally
everything
be here.
perfect.
Yeah,
That's
everything is going to come together out there while we reflect on everything that brought us here. It's going to be great. So we're going to talk about your story and get into all the details. But before we do that, can I just ask you guys to kind of introduce yourselves to us? Tell us, who you are, where you're from, and, maybe we'll include how you came across Synchrony as part of that.
okay. You want me to go first or you?
I mean, you go for it. Yeah.
All right. So my name is Victoria Tony, almost Orten. Tomorrow will be Orten. I am the niece of Jimmy Tony, and I am probably the best Tony that you know
In my
or
personal
will know.
opinion, but it does change tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I guess it has to shift to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wanted us to go ahead and talk about how we came.
Yeah, you can talk about how
Okay.
just how it sort of showed up
So
on your radar.
for me, Caitlin shared it a few times, and I was like, "Ooh, this is speaking to me." But I didn't really want to do online dating or anything like that, and that's what I thought it was going to be. And then I went to a family Thanksgiving dinner, and my grandpa was like, "Have you tried online dating?" And I was like, "No."
Your grandpa was the one who was encouraging you to get into
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And so
I'm not
then
sure I knew that.
yeah. But I told him no. I was like, no. Mm-mm. But then Caitlin shared something else, and I was like, okay, I'm talking to mom and dad on the way home. Got in the car, and dad was like, don't do anything until I talk to Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
So for context, so your dad is our pastor's brother.
Yes.
And at this point, this was very early in the Synchrony existence.
Yeah,
I
we were
think.
still pretty new.
Several months
That's
in.
the reason I said you do it first, because yours starts before mine.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it is.
Chronologically,
It does.
Victoria started really early with us.
Yeah.
Talk me through what had the dating landscape been like for you up to that point? Like, why was your grandpa encouraging you to get into online dating?
Well, I've never dated.
Oh, yeah.
Jaken was my first and only, thank God. But he just knew I was getting older, and he wanted me to have someone that I wasn't. Him and Granny are really big about making sure their family is taken care of, spiritually, mentally, everything. Like, they just want their family safe.
Yeah.
And people knew I was lonely, and so the first thing he thought of was online dating. But I've seen too many mess ups with that I was like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
So that's as soon as dad called Uncle Jimmy was like, go for it. Like, he was like, we sat down and talked about it, and he goes, I'm all for it. Do it. And that day I got on and filled out my information sheet or whatever y'all call it.
That's so cool.
Right.
I think that was during, I meant to go back and look at the specific dates. I think you came in during like what we called our beta testing phase, where it was at the very beginning. We were just starting to test out the approach. And yeah, I was so excited when Pastor was like, yeah, I think my niece is going to try to do this, because I knew that meant not only, I mean, we knew that he supported us, but the fact that he would be excited for his family to be involved was so exciting for us.
Yeah, and for the next, I would probably say like couple months, he would come to us after church on a Sunday and be like, "So, how's Victoria doing?"
Yeah,
and we're like, "Patient confidentiality, or not patient, client confidentiality."
Yeah. No, yeah, we were. I can't pick favorites of our clients, but we were certainly motivated to make
Yeah.
sure that you had a great experience. Okay, Jaken. So tell us about you. Where now? Victoria's in Texas, right? Tell us where you were located before this, and kind of like how Synchrony came on your radar, and what dating had looked like for you, why it made sense for you at the time.
So, I am from Kentucky, and well, brother Jimmy Tony had been one of my favorite preachers for a while, and we hear tell that Kentucky Youth Convention has been changed this year because for some reason Josh Carson can't make it, and he's being replaced by brother Jimmy Tony. I was like, oh, cool. So we show up there. He preaches, does a great job. Message one of the guys I was on an AYC trip with. I said, hey, your pastor did a great job last night. And then within just a little bit, I see him share a Facebook post that says something about this is a podcast for ending loneliness in the church. Just about a month ago, I'd been on a call with a coaching group I'm in, just talking about, I'm so lonely. I feel like all my family feels sorry for me. And because I'm one of the last of my group that's not been married off yet in my generation of the grandkids. And I feel so lonely. I was like, okay, Lord, is this something? So I start listening and I'm like, okay, they're selling something.
Fair.
I was like, they're selling something. And I was like, okay. I go back and forth and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do this because I feel like people are going to be like making fun of me.
Yeah, say more about that, because we get that all
I was
the
like,
time.
I feel like people are going to be making fun of me. Once again, I'm in this coaching community. I was listening to a book about emotional regulation.
Yeah.
And
Which I think more men should listen to books
so I'm
about
listening to
emotional
an
regulation.
audiobook about emotional regulation, and he's talking about like, okay, once you get past the initial feelings only last a certain amount of time. So let's feel through this. What are you feeling? And then I'm like, okay, this is embarrassment. Is embarrassment that big of a deal? I send a screenshot of the deal that y'all had running, I think in March, right?
Yeah.
For the initial launch. I was like, what do y'all think about this? My dad, who is my pastor, says, how do you feel about it? And I was like, I feel like I'm going to go for it. And I did it, sent it in, got past the initial wave of embarrassment or whatever else, and was just like, okay, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah. What do you think? Because I think this is an experience that a lot of guys have when they consider something like matchmaking. Immediately, if I say, oh, I'm a matchmaker to a single apostolic guy, I see
You visibly see their body like
the
cringe.
deer in the headlights, kind of like, oh Lord. Like,
Yeah.
where do you feel like that embarrassment comes from among our guys? Like, what's the root of why they would feel embarrassment or shame at the idea of involving somebody else in their dating process?
So one of the types of humor that I absolutely hate, but guys love, is roasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my initial thought is I'm just picturing my brother-in-law who loves to tease me, who has made jokes about me marrying off to one of the widows in the church who are like
Sure.
80 years old.
Yeah.
And like all this stuff. And I'm just immediately picturing it. And it's like, oh, dude, you couldn't do this yourself. You couldn't be the guy that could just walk up to a girl and be like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, girl.
You can't pick up a girl.
You can't
so-
pick up a girl or anything like that. You had to get someone else to do it for you. And I'm in terribly, terribly, terribly bad about not asking for help. I'm terribly bad about thinking I can do everything on my own. And I'm like, anytime that anyone has ever tried to match me off with a girl up until now, I would go on one date. I'm like, do you even know who I am? Why did you try to put me up with that girl?
Right. Yeah. So everything you're saying is so important, because I think that men in our culture, American culture, church culture, are told this is something you should be able to do on your own. You should be able to go hunt down the right woman and pick her up and convince her and woo her, and like all of that should be individual. And individual dating is only a couple hundred years old, and before that, families were always involved in helping people find each other.
It was always word of mouth. Like you generally speaking, because before the internet, like new people in your community.
It was always a communal.
Yeah, it was usually
praxis.
a community based, and honestly, back then we knew each other better.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we're not as personal with each other, and if you do, it's still even though it's with close friends, there's still only a layer of them what they know about you. Whereas back in the day, you had to do everything together. So I think that's just there's a little bit of a detachment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jaken, I'm curious, and I'm going to come back to Victoria in a minute to talk about her experience in the pipeline. But since we're talking about this, what was it like then to sit? Because I mean, I think for an apostolic guy, it's weird to sit down with a woman. You did your consultation with me.
Yeah.
It's weird to sit down with a woman who you've never met before, a married woman, and share all your hopes and dreams about your wife, right? What was that experience like for you? Like, what do you remember from the consultation?
I will tell you one thing that helped me a lot was the fact that I had listened to y'all's podcast every episode up to that point.
Nice. A binger. We like
So
it.
I'm a podcast listener. I don't know how many things I'm subscribed to, but I was like, oh, it's a podcast. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
And that was hearing you guys talk helped me a lot with it, which was okay. I kind of had the idea of the personality that I'm stepping into here. But at the same time, it's like a little different, I will say.
Vulnerable.
But I will make a plug here for the thing I've mentioned multiple times that got me ready for this coaching community I'm part of.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Ryan Franklin Community Coaching. He's really helpful.
Not sponsored yet.
Not sponsored, but I will say it's apostolic guy who's talking about all this stuff, and he's huge on you need to be emotionally vulnerable.
Yes.
And all this stuff. And I'd figured out stuff with personality typing and all this stuff that I've been working on for several years at this point, and like trying to work on myself.
Yeah.
Which got me to the place where I felt like I'm okay to be emotionally vulnerable and work through things. All these things, it's like God was working on me to get me ready to be where I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had really done a lot of that prep that made it possible to sit down and say, like, look, here's what I want in a partner. Because you were self-aware coming into that of like, these are the things that I really need. You know, and I think it does take a lot for, I think guys, especially because they're in our culture, they're less trained for that than women. So yeah, that makes sense. So meanwhile, so Jaken comes in months after Victoria does. Victoria,
Oh, yeah.
you're in what we call the waiting period, like the pipeline waiting room.
Yeah.
Which is a very common experience for our ladies. Talk us through what that was like for you.
It was awful. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. There were days
Be
where I was
straightforward.
like, why did I even trust her?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
I knew it was the right thing. I knew it was something that God wanted me to do. But I was also like, I don't get why I'm still waiting. Like,
Right.
And you had told me, like, there may be someone, but I'm not quite sure. I want to look at something. And I was like, oh, so maybe it's going to be quicker than what I think. Like, and then it kept going
Yeah.
and it kept going. And I think I messaged you one day and I was like, I'm trusting you, but today it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of days where it was like, why haven't you answered yet, God?
Yeah.
I took a step, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
And those days were really, really hard.
I think a lot of women that we work with experience that to varying levels because not only is it, you know, like one, I think you were coming in and you saw the early days of us trying to get our feet under us too. So some of it was you were just having to be so patient while we got our act together. But also, you've heard us talk about this before. We have so many more women than we have men. And so it's challenging because I think a lot of women see taking that step as like, okay, I'm moving the ball down the field. Like I'm advancing this. And then there's still that period of just silence often. You know, we try to stay in touch with people and say hi to people and connect with people, but we're not bringing a result immediately if the right person's not there. So I think that frustration is so common and so difficult because then it's like you feel like you've taken the next step, you've taken initiative, but you're not getting the result that you expected.
Yeah.
And I think it took 9 months, 11 months almost.
I signed up November. I think I talked to you December. And then May.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a long time to just sort
Yeah.
of wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was thinking about it. It reminds me very much of you do the work to get the ground prepared in like an agrarian like example.
Yeah.
You're finally ready. You're like, I've gotten all the rocks out. I've started tilling the soil,
Right.
and you're like, all right, I plant the seed. I water the seed. Now I want my corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the seed's like,
Like,
And,
Like,
I mean, the funny thing about it, as someone who grows up around cornfields, unlike you, is you start watching the process and all that, and you're like, okay. And then just one day, it seems like it comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
too.
Yeah.
It's like you see it, and then within 2 weeks, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that long time I'm sure it feels different when you're the guy planting it.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
and your experiences are totally different in that sense because Jaken, you came into the pipeline, and I'm not gonna lie, like every time a guy comes in who is ready to step into a relationship, it is difficult for me not to get massively excited immediately. Like we have one, like yes,
It is very much like we see this is going to a hunting example. We see a blood trail, and we're like, we got to follow this deer. Like,
that's a terrible
yeah.
example.
hey, it makes
Hey,
sense though,
look.
because every
Yeah.
time we like, sorry, not to be weird, but like if we see like
late.
single apostolic men start following our Instagram that are not in our pipeline, we're like, ooh, who are you?
Yeah,
Because then we know the more we get in, the faster we can help.
yeah. We have so many
The
women that we want to
cycle.
connect.
Yeah.
So Jaken comes in. We go through his process of getting him set up, and it became very clear to me as soon as I start looking through profiles, like he needs to meet Victoria. Like
Yeah.
that was pretty evident. Victoria, what was your emotional state when I finally reached out to you and was like, I think you need to meet someone?
If I'm truthful,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, it's just not gonna happen.
Sure.
Like,
You'd put it on the shelf already.
waited.
Yeah. Emotionally.
And
yeah.
when you emailed me, I was at work and I was just sat down at my desk and I read the email and I was like, oh, it's not over. Like, there is a little bit of hope here.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you told me, I remember the email. It was like, I think I have someone, but he's not tall.
Because that had been on your list.
And you were like, are you still okay with that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm at the point of I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you've heard him, you've talked to him. I don't care what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then all these different like scenarios of what he looked like was going through my head. And I was like, let me just tell her yes
Yeah.
and put it to an end.
Yeah. So both of you are having to advance a lot of trust in this whole process of just like, we're going to see what happens. We're going to kind of withhold judgment. Jaken, what were your feelings going into the call with Victoria? Do you remember? Like before you knew who you were going to meet, like what were your, I guess you guys had gotten each other's profiles already. What were you?
Which are out in the lobby, by the way.
And on the memory table.
Oh.
Yes.
I started crying as soon as I saw them.
Yeah, Megan was a mess.
I'm going to be a mess this entire weekend. So for context, for those of you who don't know, so the day before somebody meets via a Synchrony date, I create these like little profiles of each person with just some information, one
more like a
photo,
bio.
like a quick bio, yeah. And we share those, we exchange those the day before you guys actually
Yeah.
talk.
And you guys approved them before we sent them out.
Yeah, so they had helped produce their own bios. So you get this bio and you're going into this call. How are you feeling?
I will say one thing about the bio, okay?
Yeah.
You sent me mine back. I was like, okay, yeah, that's good. And then I seen hers, and I was just like, this is a weird thing. I was a little sketchy on this because I was like, these sound so similar.
It was not a copy and paste. We
I
promise.
was like, do they have a general format or?
I do keep a structure, but
But-
the funny part was I realized that after I sent them. Like I emailed
like,
the bios and then I went back and looked and I was like, because I'd written them on different
Yeah,
different
yeah.
times. I was like, oh no, these are really close.
Very
They
close.
were, they were like oddly similar. I was like, okay, this is either a great match or something else is up here.
Yeah.
So I was a
Yeah.
little suspicious at first.
Fair enough.
I think I was pacing my room before the call a little bit.
Were you nervous too?
Oh, yeah.
I was a little nervous, and then we get in there, and I'm just okay. I don't know what to expect, so here we go.
Yeah. It was the initial few seconds of that call is always very nerve inducing because you're just like, one, it's a video call. It's weird.
Yeah.
What's your memory of Victoria? Like what were
So mine was my mom got sick and was upstairs in our living room, and I was downstairs at the kitchen table, and I was like, you better not listen in, like nothing. But I got to the computer probably about 15 minutes before the call even was supposed to start.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I was like, oh no, oh no. Cause like it is video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want everything to look right, but like
It's not
you
the
don't know
same.
what it's going to look like on the camera.
Yeah.
And then I remember you got on and you were like, okay, I just want to let you know he is quiet, he is shy. And I went, oh no, what if we get to a moment where he doesn't talk? Like
Yeah.
how, like the way I was prepared was he was going to be super, super shy.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried because when Jaken and I met, I was like, oh, he seems very like, thoughtful and kind of quiet. So I get in the call with you guys to start. We kind of break the ice. We do like a little show and tell activity, and then I leave. So you guys are on your own. How was that? Like,
Well, first off, did you notice that our show and tell items, some of them are on our memory table?
no, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So cute.
I've been waiting to see if you realized that they were out there.
Yeah, they're like right next to the bios.
Like, I have to go back and look again. I'm gonna cry all over again. That's amazing.
So for me, the moment you left out, I kind of was like,
Yeah,
but then it felt very natural.
yeah.
She has told me since that I made her concerned about something.
Yeah.
But the reason I was doing this was because of a challenge I was given by Megan, which is I was taking notes because she said, try to find X amount of things that are similar about you.
Oh yeah, it has so many things you
So
have in
I was
common, yeah.
writing them down. And she was like, every time you wrote a note, I was like, oh no, I just did something wrong.
I literally felt like I was in her interview and I was like, nope, that's a mark.
That's hilarious. You're like, I'm getting graded on this date right
Or it's
now.
like whenever you're at a counselor and you're like pouring out your heart and they're like, oh. And you're
Yeah.
like, am I broken?
That's hilarious. I had no idea. Amazing. So you guys are just chatting. And what are kind of the first impressions you're building during this conversation, besides the fact that he writes down notes about you?
Also the question, do you have those notes still?
I have no idea. I have so many papers on my desk because I'm just that type of guy.
Yeah, you'll find him one
Yeah,
day.
we'll find them and I'll be like, oh my goodness, the notes.
Yeah.
Like, so during the first conversation,
Yeah.
I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I was like, I could totally see this going all the way.
Really?
Like, I know that's really weird to say about a first time to ever see each other and like talk,
Yeah.
but that's how I felt. He seemed very thoughtful. He was hilarious. There was never a quiet moment.
Yes.
And when you said that during the first talk with just me and you, I was like, okay, God, like if this is, first off, I prayed that we wouldn't even meet if we weren't going to work out.
Yeah.
And then I prayed that the conversation would just flow
Yeah.
because that scares me. Like we're going to have to talk. Like that's what couples do. But for me, it was just that he wasn't shy. He was very confident and kind. And yeah, I'm going to cry.
Jaken, what about you? What were you thinking as that call went on?
I was told that at a certain time you were going to come back on there.
Right.
And so we were just talking and we were hitting these different things. And I was watching the clock because I knew that she was going to come back on. And I was like trying to see if maybe we could try to be at a point where we weren't just in the middle of trying to figure something out. But I was like, it was going really well. And every time I would mention something, there was nothing really that she was disagreeing about. And I knew what I was told at the beginning of this is if you want to keep on knowing more about this person, that's what determines if you say yes or no. It's not, oh, I think they're amazing even. It's, I want to know more about this person.
Oh yeah, because so we set these ground rules at the start of the call where it's like nobody has to fall in love over this call.
Right.
We're looking for curiosity. So that was kind of where your head was.
And I'm like, I'm enjoying this conversation. At bare minimum, of course I want to know more about her.
Yeah.
I knew before the call was over, I was like, I'm going to say yes.
But then, dun, dun, dun. So
Megan jumps back in.
I do. So I come back in the call, and the way we do this is that we wrap the call and we don't make any decisions on the call because sometimes the vibes aren't as wonderful as they are. And so we want to give people space to reflect and think about what they want to do. So we set the expectation that no one's going to hear anything from anybody until the next day. I send out an email the next day to ask what the other person would like to do. And then you have to let me know. And then I'll reach out after I've heard from both of you. Victoria, you've already talked to me about this period of time. Yes. Tell the people how you were feeling.
It was awful. At first, whenever I first got off the call, I was like, yeah, we're going to keep talking. Like, he's going to say yes to her. I just know it.
Yeah.
But by 24 hours, I was like, oh no, he doesn't like me. Like, I wasn't good enough. I didn't meet his expectations. And I was like, he's going to say no. And then I even went to my mom and I was like, I know that right now Megan's trying to find a nice way to say, Jaken doesn't agree with you. He doesn't want to get to know you.
So all the negative voices start to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was like, but I know it's supposed to go further. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like in the in between of freaking out and not freaking out.
Yeah.
And just waiting.
Yeah.
But it was the longest time of my life.
It's gotten even worse because now,
Megan understands.
Yeah, now I give people a few days to get back to me because sometimes people have. I know it's so. For those of you who are in the pipeline right now, this waiting period is difficult. It's necessary so everyone gets their questions answered and there's clarity, but it's hard for sure, especially when
one person's really, really excited about it, already given us an answer, is waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's-
tough.
Yeah.
So, but then both of you immediately came back to me basically and said like, yeah, I'd like to get to know this person better. So I had the pleasure of getting to send that email that kind of put you in touch. And you guys, you know, at this point, kind of in my mind, right off into the sunset. But that's when the real work begins of you guys getting to know each other.
We didn't go off into the sunset.
We are currently in the sunset.
Yeah.
I guess like my sort of ability to monitor the situation vanishes at that point.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
take it from there. Talk us through like those early weeks, months of dating. Like how did this process of meeting each other over this call kind of set you up for what came next?
Well, I will say there was one thing that came out in the consultation that was, I said within the last 10 minutes, and I got an email the next day saying, hey, you might want to talk to her about this. Don't wait for the right time. Just call her. And when you talk to her, tell her.
Oh yeah. So there was something
Yeah.
I had to give you advice about.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, and I'm not going to go into details,
But, yeah.
you had a thing that I was like, this is important for her to know based on
Yeah.
her, what she needed, her preferences.
And I will say that as soon as we had that first phone call, I said it right then and there. And she was like, oh, that's fine. That's just something that God's done for you. God's going to be part of your testimony. This is going to be a good thing. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, great. And then I think the phone call went a little longer after that.
Yeah. So we text from the time that you got the email or you sent the email saying Jaken asked for her number.
Yeah.
He started texting me like quickly after that. And we literally talked up until he said, okay, can I call you now that you're home from work? And I was like, sure. And I was like, oh gosh, like we're fixing to make another phone call.
Yeah.
He told me all of that. And then we talked for maybe 2 or 3 hours. Like my mom came home from work and was like, are you on the phone? And I was like, yeah, with Jaken.
You're just like glowing, I imagine. Like, "Oh," like this halo.
She's like hanging her head off the edge of the bed, kicking her feet. Yeah.
And then we ended it because I think I had dinner.
Yeah.
One of us had to eat dinner and we hung up.
At some point.
Life
Yeah.
interrupted. Yeah.
And we text
Off and on throughout, like,
that evening.
yeah.
And then the next morning he texted me good morning. And literally from then we have texted or called or FaceTimed ever since.
I just.
This is going to be a hard weekend for you.
I'm so happy.
A hard, good weekend.
My
but-
cheeks are gonna hurt so bad. Okay, so here's a question I hadn't thought of before. How are your families responding to this? So you guys, let's just say, you know, you're starting to talk. You start getting into a dating relationship. Like it's obvious that this is developing into something. How are your families responding to this?
Well, I will say the thing that I was supposed to talk to her about,
Yeah.
my mom, as soon as she found out she was fine with that, was like, this is just the one.
Your mom's like,
Because she's like, this is a good thing. And then when we ended up talking to her parents about the same issue, and they were fine with it, and like I got a video or a audio recording of her mom like crying and being like, God is gonna use him. And I was like,
I love this so much.
I was like, oh my goodness. And then the more I learned about like her dad and her mom, it's just like they're amazing people. And at one point, I think my sister ended up saying that when she got in, she just expected to hear me on FaceTime. She's like, she basically lives here now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jaken's family is excited about this. They're watching this unfold. What's happening in your house, Victoria?
So the first thing my dad did when he found out that Jaken was from Kentucky
I forgot this. Yeah.
was he called Jimmy Tony.
And said, what kind of dirt can I dig up on this guy?
Wah, wah.
He was like, "Do you know this family? Are you aware of this family?" And Uncle Jimmy was like, "I've met his parents a few times. They're great people. She should be fine."
Yeah.
And my parents literally I feel like they've loved Jaken from the beginning.
I love how involved, I mean, even from the start of the story, talking about your grandparents, Jaken, you talking about your parents, like, one of the beautiful parts of this is that, yes, this is two young people who decide to try something different and they're dating, but you guys didn't do this alone. There was a whole community of people that have been really supporting you in this effort, which is what I think it's designed to be,
Very
right?
much.
Like, you're choosing the person you're going to do life and ministry with. The people who have cultivated both of you into that life and ministry have to be able to be part of that and speak to it.
On that note, question for you, Jaken.
Mm-hmm.
After you met Victoria and started talking to her, how did you feel with your mentor group, going back to your mentor group and telling them about that?
I feel like the interesting thing was after we met for the first time.
Yeah.
I think is probably the interesting thing because of we had another video call after that week, and I had to I told them, I was like, yeah, I had an interesting weekend. I got stuck in Houston, Texas because a hurricane happened.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay. And when I explained why, he was like, oh, okay. And basically just slowly over time, I'm Facebook friends with a few of these people, and they ended up talking about, we had this one lady who's like going back and forth overseas with a missions thing.
Yeah.
She got so excited when she saw our engagement and all this. So it's been very interesting.
Here's a question. Did you get the razzing that you expected out of any of your friends and loved ones?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother-in-law teases, but he's
Sure.
like
Thrilled
just
for-
teasing.
thrilled for
Yeah,
you
sure.
guys,
It's
I'm
just the
sure.
way he is with everyone
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And he found someone else to tease about the old ladies at the church.
Someone else has taken on
Hey,
that mantle.
Someone else
That's
is taking
good.
on that role.
Hey, tell the old ladies at the church that they can join.
Yeah,
You know, somehow I just don't think Sister Barbara's looking into that.
I know. You never know. You never know.
Hey, no,
Sister Barbara, hit us up.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Yeah. So you guys are launching into this dating relationship. How long did you guys date before you got engaged, roughly?
Ooh.
So May to November.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so
So
that's
about 6
6 months.
months. Yeah.
About 6 months.
So, which I consider to be a nice, healthy time to verify that this is someone that you could spend your life with.
Yeah.
When did you know that you were like done looking?
So it actually, for me, it started earlier on in our relationship.
Yeah.
When he came down for our first time to meet in person,
Yeah.
we had the hurricane.
Yeah.
He left, and we went and put my grandma in a nursing home. And a couple weeks later, it was really tough because we didn't know how much we had with her, and I held my emotions in. And he told me one night, he was like, "I need you to let me in. If we're going to be in a relationship, my job is to help support you in all areas." And when he said that, I was like, I can't say no. It was before he came down.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't say I love you yet because I don't want to say it until we meet in person.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
And then I was like, and I'm not gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew
Yeah.
then, I was like, he's the one.
Yeah. Showing up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Granny and I were like two peas in a pod almost.
Yeah.
And for him to really want to get into that relationship with me was special.
Yeah. What about you, Jaken? When did you know?
I think it was a little bit before we met in person, face to face. Something that we have talked about in this thing about emotional vulnerability and all this kind of stuff that was learning. I was just, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I might be the first person she dated, but she's not the first person I dated.
Sure.
And I've even had the, when I was 21 years old, I was thinking, oh, I'm 21, let's get married. And the girl I was with at the time, and she ended up running off, handing me the ring, and all that stuff. And I was just like, how do I know this is going to work? Because I don't know if I want to get into this, if this is going to work, because I've had enough of these things go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd experienced that rejection before.
I've had enough of these things go wrong. I've been trying to date since I was like a teenager.
Sure.
How do I know this is going to be right? Because I had this idea in my head. My parents were 5, and my mom was 5 years old when she said, I'm going to marry Daniel Orten whether he likes it or not.
Wow. Yeah.
So she's like only one person ever. And she was a young person. But I'm just like, how do I know this is going to work? I need you to tell me this is going to work if I'm going to go into this.
Yeah.
And I was like, so please. And the message she sent, God's in this. We've had confirmation with this and this and this. We get along. We have all these things. I'm not going anywhere. And if you're not going anywhere, why wouldn't this work?
Yeah.
Yeah. If all of the big questions are answered, then what is there left to worry about?
Same
right?
thing she said. I was like, I've not said I love you yet.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it right now over a text message.
So you guys had kind of settled before you ever saw each other in person.
I mean, to be
Yeah, just
fair,
about.
paying for a plane ticket is a bit of an investment to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. You're like, this had better be good.
And if I'm going to be spending a few days in a city I've never been to,
Right. Yeah.
With people I don't know very well.
Right.
I feel like I want to be more sure. And I
Yeah.
think within a matter of a month, I was like, okay, when can we meet in person?
Okay, I have to ask a difficult question because this is a question we get from guys all the time. What about attraction? When does attraction come into this? Because you guys had seen each other over a video call, which is not the same as being in the same physical proximity as each other, right? Was that a question you had in your mind before you met? Like, you're already falling for this person, it sounds like. You're already kind of developing a sense of like, this could be it, but you've never seen each other. Were you worried about that? Like, am I going to find them attractive when I see them?
I'll go first then. I will admit something kind of weird that I don't like to admit, but the first time when I'm on a video call, I'm like, I don't know if it was an unflattering angle or what, but I'm just like, I mean, she's all right.
Yeah.
Video calls are never that flattering.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
And I feel like even the bio picture, I'm like, I'm going to admit something. I ended up trying to look you up on Facebook after the bio popped in.
You're not the only one.
I did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we keep last names out of it to make it harder.
He has a more unique name,
That
though.
is not that is not the best picture of you could have picked for the bio. All these things. I had all these thoughts, and just over time, it's like I tell you all the time, you get more beautiful every day.
He does tell me that.
What about you? Did you have that thought cross your mind before you saw him in person?
A little.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, oh, what if he gets here and I'm like, you are not what you seem like.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, but we had done enough Facebook stalking, just to be truthful, that I was like, he is attractive. Like,
Yeah.
he is cute. But I don't know if I'm going to think you're cute in person.
Yeah, sure.
Well, and I think people have this question when they meet someone through Synchrony of like, okay, yeah, all the values are there. Yeah. We align on all these things, but am I going to like them? Like, am I going to feel the feelings, like the attraction and the butterflies? And am I going to have a love story the way that the way that we've envisioned having that? Did those things happen for you guys? Like the butterflies and the excitement and the giggles and all?
The moment I saw him walking from like to baggage claim,
Yeah.
because I went in to pick him up. When I saw him, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm nervous. He's
Yeah.
cute. Like,
Yeah.
what about you?
I mean, our first picture together, you can see the grin that I had when I
Yeah.
was finally with you. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah. It just felt normal.
And
Yeah.
like you say the line about the love story, and I said the thing, I've heard my mom tell that story so many times. When
Yeah.
she come out of Sunday school, told her mama that, and I was like, I want something that's going to be unique. And then I'm like, there's so many little chapters in our story where like some crazy thing happened to us.
Yeah.
a hurricane.
Yeah.
Being
A
stranded
hurricane.
at the Nashville airport. Like
Yeah.
so many things that we can share.
Running back in the rain after the hurricane and
Yeah.
from the
Oh my gosh.
So we went to the
all those
museum.
things.
Yeah.
And we were told, like, if it does start raining, it will be light.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to get bad. We walked out of the museum and it was pouring down rain.
We had a Nicholas Sparks moment.
And I was like, do we just risk it? And he was like, let's go.
Yeah.
cute.
That's awesome.
What were you going to ask?
Oh no, I'm kind of going back a little bit to you guys making that decision mentally, like I can settle down with this person. What you guys were looking for, what it sounds like, is you were seeing if you guys both had the tools to make it work regardless of what came your way. Because when he asked you, or when he said, hey, I need you to let me in, that lets you know that he had a level of emotional vulnerability that can make a relationship work.
Yeah.
Because the biggest tools I think we use more than anything is communication. And once you see that that person has that ability to do that, there's a level of comfort. Like I knew I wanted to be with her probably way before she didn't know I liked her at the time.
I thought we were just hanging out with Brad.
Brad wasn't on this one.
Brad came to all of our first
No,
dates.
he did not. Missed exaggerated.
He did.
No, he came to one. Lady.
Brad was around a lot. Anyway, so we were just hanging out.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so it was one of those things. Is when I heard that she knew how to communicate really well, because I was in past relationships where I felt like I couldn't communicate with the person I was with, and it was kind of a strain in the relationship. So once you got that, oh, we can be vulnerable. How did that change the way you viewed him?
I don't really know. I don't know how to answer that one.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like flipped a switch, like trust, I think was a big
Safety.
thing. Like, safety.
Yeah.
And I knew that he'd be able to talk to me.
Yeah.
We talk about, this we come back to this all the time, this concept of chemistry that people love to throw around in relationships. We say it's feeling completely seen for who you are, all of you, right? Being able to be completely transparent with someone, feeling safe being that person with them, and feeling a mutual curiosity, a desire to know more and understand more about each other, right? If those things are there, that's chemistry, right? Feeling seen, safe, and curious about this other person and it being reciprocated. And it sounds like you guys settled into that very quickly and had done the work to get there before, where you knew kind of what you needed to see in that person, which I think was really beautiful.
Collect yourself, babe.
I'm trying. If I get through this without just weeping, it's going to be a miracle. This is, it's a dream to get to sit here and talk about all this stuff. Okay, so this is just indulging in all of the ashiga she feels. Tell us the proposal story. How did he ask?
So Thanksgiving Day, he was supposed to ask my dad the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Black Friday. But he snuck upstairs on Thanksgiving Day while we were playing games and talked to my dad. I don't know how that went. He can tell you that part. But
Evidently
all I
pretty
heard
well.
Yeah.
at the end was, no, you can't marry my daughter.
Oh no.
And I was like, what? Like, Dad told me he was going to say yes. Like,
That's hilarious.
because I had prepared Dad all leading up to this. Like,
Right.
just so you know, this is the plan, Dad. This is the plan.
Yeah.
And then he goes, nah, I'm just kidding. It looks like we're going to have a wedding.
That's hilarious.
He comes downstairs and he goes, want to go ring shopping?
Oh, Black Friday ring shopping. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
First ring that I put on, I fell in love with it
Yeah.
and was like,
There's a trend here.
Yeah.
first everything.
One
Yeah.
I've noticed.
It
One
was
I've
also-
noticed.
Very efficient, Victoria.
It was also the first wedding dress I tried on
No way.
And the first house that we
and
looked
the
at.
first house that we looked at.
That is awesome.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm Jesus's favorite.
Hey,
Like,
here's the thing. When you do it right, sometimes the things just fall into place for you.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you so many
So even
firsts through
Jesus
all
likes
of
her better
this.
than me. That's all I'm saying.
It's awesome. But we went ring shopping, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to have to wait till Christmas to put that thing on my finger.
So that was the plan.
That was the plan.
You guys knew that you were going to try to get engaged around Christmas.
Yeah.
Got it.
But little did I know, he went home and he
Sneaky,
told my
sneaky.
mom, I wanted to do it now.
Oh my gosh.
So we had a date planned to go to the Nutcracker Ballet the next day. And it's always been a dream of mine to walk down the stairs fully dressed for something and my boyfriend be down at the end of the stairs. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, my mom came in at one point and was like, how are you feeling? Are you nervous? And I was like, why would I be nervous? It's just a date.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just had to ask you. And when she said that, I was like, Jaken's got something planned.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, but Jaken's got something planned. And I walked down the stairs, or as I'm about to walk down the stairs, my mom thought her volume was down, but I could hear the FaceTime call. I was like, who are you FaceTiming? She's like, no one, I'm not FaceTiming anybody. And I was like, hi to whoever she's FaceTiming. Cause like I could hear it
Yeah.
turn on. Like,
Was it?
It was his mom.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I walked down the stairs and then I noticed my dad's recording.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Okay.
what's happening? And I go and I'm trying to act stupid.
Right.
So I put my stuff down. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, just putting my stuff down. And he was like, well, come here. And I was like, okay. So I walked over and he had been writing in a journal all morning, but he would not let me read it. And he handed it to me and he goes, it's time for you to read this now. And it was a letter to God saying like, it's only been 6 short months. Like I have it as a picture and it like I read it all the time because it's so sweet. But it says,
You got me now. You got me now. I'm sorry.
You were going to be the strong one, Jake. You were holding the rest of us together.
You're the only one holding it together.
We're done, guys. It all goes downhill
All right,
from
go
here.
on, go on. Sorry.
so it says like it's only been 6 months since I wrote her name for the first time. And he goes through this whole thing about how he knows that it's God's will and like real detailed.
Yeah.
It's on my Facebook page if anybody wants to go and stalk me and read it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then he said, all that there is now to do is ask. And then he wrote in big letters, Victoria and Tony, will you marry me? And as I'm reading that, like I'm getting sad and like, not sad, but like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
emotional.
oh, and I look up and he's on a knee in front of my Christmas tree. And he pulls out the ring and there we go.
Oh my goodness.
And then it gets better. And I haven't told you this part of the story.
What?
We're sitting at dinner and I'm kind of close to the Gums, the Goofy Gums. I've talked to her.
Wait, I don't know what that means.
The Goofy Gums, they're children's ministers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Shout out
okay.
to them. I love them.
Amazing.
But they've come here several times and
Yeah.
she has like prophesied over me several times before this.
Yeah.
Like one time she told me that she saw a light and then the next time she saw me, she was like, your light's getting dim, Victoria. What are we going to do?
Wow.
And
Just
I was
one of those
like,
voices in
yeah.
like a prophetic voice
And
in
I
your
was
life.
like, I don't know. But my phone rings and she's calling me and we're sitting down at dinner and I was like, I'll call her back later. So I called her after we ate because we had plenty of time between the ballet and dinner. And she went in to prophesy about how God was opening a new door for me, that the light was shining bright and like all of this stuff. And I was like, have you been on Facebook? And she was like, no, I haven't been today. And I was like, I literally just posted, I just got engaged. And she was like, oh, well, there's your confirmation. And I was like, yeah, very much so.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
See, this is so cool because like we've talked before about how people like to bring we can get real woo woo at the beginning of a relationship, right? Or we're like, oh, I met this guy on this day in July, and that's the day that this, and that means that this, according to this, you know, like we'll like to, we put a lot of signs at the beginning to convince ourselves that something is real. But when you go through the work of making a choice according to Scripture, according to your values, bringing in the right people, involving your family, then I think God pours out that confirmation and that trust and that safety because
Absolutely.
you've done the work to do what he has instructed us to do, to make good choices, you know?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So let's wrap this because we have to go get a wedding together. You guys
Yes.
have a lot to do the rest of the day. We have a rehearsal starting in a few hours. We're going to get to see you guys walk down the aisle tomorrow. I will be weeping. It's fine. Don't make eye contact with me at any point. So let's do this. I have 2 questions. Imagine that we're sitting at the same table 5 years from now. We have a reunion. Okay. You guys are doing ministry together at this point. You might be raising a family together at that point. You are in the work. You are elbow deep in the soil of whatever field God is having you to till, right?
Reaping the corn.
Yeah. What is something that you want yourself in 5 years, yourselves to remember about this? What is if you can time capsule a thought for yourself at that point about this experience, about the moment that you're in right now, what do you want to remember?
Faithfulness pays off. That's literally the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah. First thought I have is just trust the process. It'll work out. And it can indeed be better than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm almost there, guys. It's going to be fine. Okay. And then what advice do you have for us as matchmakers based on your experience? What advice do you have for someone who might be thinking about doing this but isn't sure?
And you can be brutally honest.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's fine.
advice for you guys: keep doing it. It's gonna get tough, like it is, but don't give up. It helped us, and it's gonna help several other people. And for everybody that's thinking about signing up, just do it. Just make yourself a little bit better. Like even if it's just talking to Megan and letting her feed into you on your values and things like that, do it.
This is the will of God. And I mean, you say the thing about signs at the beginning. Literally, your tagline for your podcast was the sign to me to sign up. Your tagline of ending loneliness. That's a huge ask, but you are doing the work, and it is absolutely, absolutely worth it. Anyone who's wanting to sign up, I'll say what the book I was reading at the time says. Emotions, whatever thing, negative emotion that you're feeling at the time, just chemically speaking, an emotion only lasts 90 seconds in your brain. You can choose to ruminate on it, or you can choose to move forward and just do the thing.
Yeah, just take the leap.
Just take the leap, and God's got you in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are still waiting for a match, don't give up. Trust them 100%, because when the right person comes along, they'll know it.
And I would rather introduce you to the one. I'd rather it be the first time and you guys be able to immediately start building than waste anyone's time meeting hundreds of people. You know, what you guys in such a short amount of time have built together and are going to build together. The end goal of Synchrony is not just marriages. Like, the end goal of Synchrony is that 5 years from now, when the two of you have transformed lives and have brought people into the kingdom and have built a legacy for yourself. You've continued the legacy of the people that have sharpened you. That's what this is for. And willingness to kind of go through that tumbling and like be available to it is so huge.
Yeah. I also want to reemphasize, you guys really, excuse me. Sorry. Coffee.
The emotions.
Yeah. Or something. I want to reemphasize that you guys really worked on yourselves prior to meeting each other. I would have to say, if you hadn't started working on yourselves and then you would have met each other, I don't know if it would have worked. You guys came to a point where you guys knew how to go forward from that relationship because you started working on yourselves prior. Yeah. And I think I really want to encourage listeners that don't wait to say, oh, I'm going to start learning how to understand my emotions once I get married, because that's the recipe for disaster. And just like start start looking for mentors, start looking for people that invest into you and that can guide you in your lives. Because once you meet someone it'll also help you actually recognize when you meet someone who is also working on themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
It like, you're able to kind of recognize in the other person, like, oh, we're on the same page. Like we've done the work.
Yeah. So
we're
very proud of you guys.
We are tremendously proud of you, and we're so excited to see what God does for you. I wanted to say thank you. You have honored us. There it is. Just by allowing us to be part of your story. Thank you.
Well, thank y'all for being a part of the story.
Yeah. It's a gift. We love you guys. We're so excited. By the time this airs, they will be Mr. and Mrs. Jaken Orten off into a whirlwind adventure of early marriage. So safe travels on your honeymoon.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful time. Can't wait to talk to you when you get back.
Enjoy your new house.
Yeah. Keep us posted. And for the rest of you that are listening, we hope you enjoyed this. Definitely send Jaken and Victoria some love as they step into their life together. And we love you guys.
I said cash. No,
Yeah, send gift cards.
Yeah. Their Venmo and Cash App.
We love you guys.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
I love you.
I love you too.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, I know we do this as a team,
Yeah,
but you did this.
we did this. And God did this.
You
And they did
you
this.
and Jesus did this.
Okay.
I helped set up the tech.
You held my hand when I cried over their engagement announcement.
That's right.
And you videoed it for us.
Yeah. Yeah, you sent them the video of me
Yeah, I
bawling
did.
in the
I
car.
did. I love
Yeah.
that.
So, okay, quick behind the scenes story. So
I recognize her emotionally just falling apart.
Yeah, so we are on our way back from a conference that we had attended. We're in the car. We've been on this long trip. I'm exhausted, whatever. And we get, I think, a text. I think it was a text from you, or it was a Facebook post. I don't remember.
It was an Instagram message.
That's right. Of the engagement,
Yeah.
just you with the ring. And when I tell you, I lost it. I mean, I lost it in the front seat of the car. I was just a mess. And Steven, I look over and Steven has suddenly pulled out his phone as he's driving, and it's just like,
Yeah, full on, just like pocket recording her.
yeah, the whole thing. And I'm like, and I'm just an absolute mess. So thank you for capturing that very flattering moment
Yeah,
of me.
no problem.
It was the best.
Oh, we love you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah,
We love you.
we love me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Really? Okay. Let's go have a wedding.
Yep.
Yes.
Yay!
Thank you guys. Bye.